Most people, to the untrained eye, are going to sit here and say that this owner starved her dogs.
We're going to head up to that dog hall right now. So we'll go out, we'll assess the situation.
I mean, look at that. These dogs look like garbage. I mean, that's just not... Did you see there's bags of food there?
She was very upset about losing all of her cats. She called me up a few times in tears.
I need my photos. I need to be able to paint this picture for the judge so that he sees what I see.
Get ready for the 10th annual Hillsborough County Hiking Spree. Lace up your boots and join us from November 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026 as we explore the county's stunning nature preserves, winding trails, and hidden ecosystems. Whether you're a seasoned hiker or just looking for a refreshing outdoor adventure, this is your moment. Take in the wild, stay active, and make memories with friends and family. We'll see you on the trail for the 10th annual Hillsborough County Hiking Spree.
Morning. Welcome to the February 12th, 2026 quarterly meeting of the Hillsborough County Tourist Development Council. This time I'll pass things over to Ron Barton for roll call.
Thank you. Hagan.
Here.
Castor. Antonaccio.
Here.
Collier.
Here.
Gonsmart Williams. She said she couldn't be here. Kilton.
Here.
Mackinac.
Here.
Manthe.
Here.
Was that virtual?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Morrison. Placencia.
Here.
And Ross. Mayor Ross told me you couldn't make it. Okay, we have a quorum.
Okay, great. If everyone's had an opportunity to review the minutes, can we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Placencia, second, Mr. Antonaccio. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, likewise. Motion carries unanimously. This time, is anyone here want to speak during public comment? Seeing none, Mr. Barton for the administrative report.
If you turn to the tab with the financial quarterly report, the first table is the 3% portion. Really, the only thing of note here is our outlay, according to our contracts, in the first quarter always outpaces collections. So you're going to see a negative on the bottom, and that's very typical for our first quarter. We begin to catch up as we true up on the second quarter with revenues, catching up with our expenditures. So really, that's the only thing of note I wanted to bring to your attention on the 3 cent. And the same thing happens on the 6 cent, which is the next page, with the expenses outpacing the revenues in that first quarter. But we'll catch up on the revenue side, and we know we have a regular expenditure. There are no surprises associated with the expenditures, so that will begin to true up. If you'll turn to the next page, it's the 3 cent collections, and the of note here are the negatives associated with comparing to a year previous. And at this point, we're running at 17% below last year. I would, before we get alarmed about that, 2 things. What's really going on there, and I know Santiago and his team can talk about this, is we have the hurricane factor that we have. And so it's ironic and counterintuitive, but when we have hurricanes near us but don't really take us out, we actually have a favorable impact in our occupancy of our hotels. So we get a bump. We've actually graphed the last 3 years in the hurricane season. You can see the bumps that come with the hurricane. So you're comparing, in this case, a non-hurricane season to a hurricane season. That's why these particular months seem negative. If you want to take it a step further, look at the current 26 collections and then look across over to the 24s. And you'll see either constant or increases over 24. So it's something to watch and be aware of. We're not, frankly, alarmed at this point because of what the circumstances were. If you turn the page, the only difference is the dollars themselves, because that's the 1 through 6, and then the next page is the 6 cent. Again, your percentages are going to be the same irrespective. And then lastly, you see the chart, and it shows the multiple years, and with the red being the 26, so you see it down a little bit lower in scale, and but it's still tracking trend line, and we expect some correction here as we move into the busy months. That is my report.
Thank you, Ron. Any questions, comments on the administrative report? If not, can we have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Palencia. There a second? Second, Mr. Antonaccio. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
I don't see him.
I don't see him. All right. Well, then, Santiago, you're up, buddy.
No money for him.
That'll be a 10% reduction.
Well, good morning, Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Mayor, esteemed members of our TDC, those watching on television. I think I'm looking at a presentation that would be for Lannis Robinson or my good friend Rob Higgins back in the day, because it says Tampa Bay Sports Commission. So
Well, you wear many hats.
You want me to do that one? I can give it a shot. I can give it a shot. So thank you, Mr. Barton, for those comments. Next slide, please. This first quarter of our fiscal year is a quarter of a number of different tales, as Mr. Barton has mentioned. There we go. So when we look at ourselves a year ago, obviously with the factors that were talked about, you see those declines. But what's really, really interesting is when you compare us to, this doesn't look right to me. No, this is not.
It's not correct.
Not correct. That is not correct. No, that's us, but that's the wrong presentation.
Our books have the right side.
Do you all have the right slide? If you have the right slides, I can just read off of mine. I have.
Is it this one?
That should be the one, but that's not the one that was up there. I know I have it. I mean, I can talk right through it without the visuals. If you all have the right one, I can just reference.
Mark, do we know?
No.
Let's see.
Don't feel bad about it. At our Tuesday land use meeting, I was reading off of our January 10th agenda. So, been doing this 24 years, and we all make mistakes.
That's the one.
So.
There we go. Well, thank you. Yeah, now we're good. We're good. So if you look at that first slide, yes, you see us compared to last year with that bump, and it was October through about February where we saw the uptick in the numbers. And here, what's interesting is, that's why I said it's a quarter of two tails. You look at us versus ourselves, yeah, we're lower, but when you look at occupancy across Florida, the U.S., and us, we're higher. So we really had a good first quarter compared to our competition, and compared to a year where we don't have, some, inflation due to some event. Okay, next slide. I don't think I can move forward. Or can I? Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can control. So good. So again, you see hurricane impacts from last fiscal year, slightly lower than fiscal year 24 on occupancy, but pretty much on par. But then when you look at average daily rates and you look at RevPAR, better than 24, which was a record year. But again, we see the impacts from the situation we dealt with last night. And then revenue for the first quarter, year over year, you see outpacing fiscal year 24. When you look at the hotel taxable revenue, also better than fiscal year 24 for the first quarter. That's October through December, but really hotel collections September through October, a month behind through November, I'm sorry. And then you see over the last 3 years how this year is pacing. And again, an interesting last year. And then bed tax collections a bit higher, as Mr. Barton mentioned, than fiscal year 24. So we're monitoring. We can't wait for the last year factor to start dropping off so we can see really apples to apples comparisons. For the first quarter of this fiscal, you see us, how we compare in the convention comp set on occupancy, on average daily rate, also a factor of not having the year that we had last year, RevPAR, and then I think we also have the leisure comp set here, how we compare as far as occupancy, ADR, and RevPAR. Lots of events during the first quarter. These are all related to our strategic plan, our internal strategic plan, our goals as far as destination leadership, industry relations, out of market activity and in-market activity, and then Q1 partner updates. Still going very, very strong with partners and their referrals. We are just, I believe, just a few partners shy of 1,000 partners now, but 1,000 engaged partners, not 1,000 partners that give you $100 and we say thank you and we don't see you again. Very, very engaged partners. And then our emphasis on building the funnel for the industry continues in partnership with the school system and workforce development. We had a conference direct forum where we invited 24 of our high school students. You see our team and others in the community presenting at Hillsborough High School. They were one of the first to start a tourism and hospitality program, and then we're actually hosting them in the offices, taking them out to partners, trying to get them to understand all of the facets that our industry has in place. And then group of business, you see there how many groups were actualized in the first quarter, who those groups are, and then the very conservative economic impact for those groups that did come to town for the first quarter. So you have actualized and then groups moving forward. 126 groups booked to future years and 86 groups that were actualized in the first quarter. And then the team very, very busy. Florida Association of Executives, Destinations Hockey Holiday Showcase, lots in DC, Amex, working with Amex on luxury product. We had Conference Direct in town. They had some of their highest level partners, decision makers that could book conferences. We were very, very happy to host them. Lots around multicultural, lots with the Divine Nine and some of our repeat business with the National Association of Buffalo Soldiers. And then free media, quarter one earned media over $3 million. And I think what's really, really interesting about this slide is every 8 hours, a new piece of coverage spotlighted our destination across major markets. So every 8 hours, a story appeared. And we're very, very involved with muralists these days. So some of you will recognize this one in downtown. In fact, I just came back from Mexico City last night because we're fishing where the fish are, and Mexicans are traveling to Tampa in higher numbers. In fact, Aeromexico will be going daily in March. Right now they're at 6 per week, and the planes were full, and we just did a mural in Mexico with Tampa artists and a Mexican artist, with both nations coming together across the bay. So it was very, very well received. We continue to do some very, very interesting marketing. I think there was a video attached to this with what we're doing about chickens and roosters in Ybor. It seems the world is intrigued by roosters and chickens that are protected in an urban setting. So we highlight that, and we want them to come in and hang out with the roosters and the chickens. And then obviously a lot of paid media as well with influencers. Samantha Brown was in Tampa Bay, did a number of shows across the destination. And that's it. I know Mr. Placencia had a question, so was able to get some facts for him before we ran over. So, Mr. Placencia?
To group accounts. We're hurting on the leisure side, obviously. Canadian travel is down, European travel is down, and I know that the community here, the hotel community and Visit Tampa Bay have really focused heavily on booking group business to make up for that. Could you just give us an idea of what pace is looking like for the next, say, 2 to 5 years? Yeah, so hot off the press, I didn't want to try this on my own, so I needed a safety net from Adam DePere, our chief sales officer. But lead volume fiscal year to date is up and exceeding 25 and 24. Pace, convention center room night pace is ahead of targets for 28 through 31. 27 still lagging a little bit. We've been working on it to fix it, but we lost a major convention that had been coming for a few years in 27. That was the Advanced Placement Reading Summit annual gathering, which was a high number of school teachers and professors that would come to the destination. And we're really working on securing multi-year agreements because of the situations that we're seeing. So National Retail Federation, we're signing for 29, 31, and 33. And we're shifting Florida State Junior Thespians from Orlando for years 28, 29, and 30. So this summer's going to be very busy. Again, I can't wait for the hurricane effect to peel off, because we've got some big major conventions this summer, and we're starting to see the gap narrow with last year with the hurricane season. So again, we're very bullish on this year, making up some of that gap, some of that money that we're not seeing from last year. So
we're hustling, and we're working on some big conventions for the months of November for 4 straight years, I believe 28 through 32. So we're doing some work out there trying to make sure, again, you know, we're very fortunate here that because of group business, transient business, meetings business, corporate transient, we can fill when leisure lags a little bit. But again, you know, England is flat, Germany's down, France is down, Switzerland is down, Germany's down, so we're in Mexico City. We're talking in Argentina. Even though we don't have a direct flight in Argentina, in Spain, because those countries' international inbound is stronger than right now Europe and or Canada. Canada, we're not giving up on Canada. We love Canada, but it's going to take a while for them to decide to come back in big numbers.
If there's anything that we can do as a council to assist, let us know. Yeah,
thank you. You know, the biggest challenge, obviously, is making sure we get room blocks for citywides. That can be difficult during some seasons here in Tampa now because we're so busy. You know, obviously, convention center expansion is important, and then the right product coming to our destination to help with, you know, some of those citywide room blocks that we're sometimes struggling to put together, right? But our partners are fantastic. They always step up and give us more when we ask, because groups, when they book, are saying we need additional blocks, we need additional rooms. You know, we're seeing a huge uptick in registration and people wanting to come to the convention, to the meeting in Tampa. So then we scurry around and ask for more rooms from our partners. But all in all, I think on the group side, we're in in good shape. Meeting side, I think we're in good shape. We'll see how leisure comes around.
Thank you, Santiago.
And domestic leisure is still strong.
Yeah.
So obviously international is where we're struggling a little bit.
We're not the only ones, by the way.
Oh, no.
Everybody else is as well.
No. I mean, we have colleagues that were heavily dependent on international visitation, more so than anything else, that have been struggling tremendously over the last 6 to 8 months.
Any other questions, comments?
On the convention center, do you think maybe in the next meeting or one of the few we get an update on the convention center or what's happening with that?
I think we can. I mean, city staff did a presentation to city council some months ago with the conceptual idea of what it would look like. So I would believe either I or somebody from the convention center team we can invite to give us an update on where they are, what they've looked at. You know, obviously, you know, money's a factor. It is a factor when there are so many demands on the tourism development tax, as we're having conversations about this and that and the other, and what cent can we peel off some dollars for. So I think funding now becomes interesting situation with, you know, talk of the raise and how much money can you really put into a convention center expansion when you're talking about other things. So I think it'd be great to hear from them, quite honestly, where they are.
I just think with the bricks and mortar and the group stuff, to your point, group is going to continue to be incredibly important for this town. I mean, we can do a fair amount of leisure, but we're still not a beach town. So group is going to be, so the indoor sports complex as a huge room night producer, and then whatever was getting decided with the convention center. I just think putting the word out there and start talking about that, the sooner the better.
Right, and you know, we've been talking about the first quarter, but calendar year in just about every comp set, believe it or not, even minus the hurricane factor, we were number 2 in occupancy in the convention comp set, in the leisure comp set. In every comp set we looked at, we came in second in total occupancy for last calendar year. And what was interesting was on the convention comp set, it was Orlando at 71.4 and Tampa at 71.2. So I give the 0.2 to Epic Universe and say, you know, that was the Epic Universe impact that got them to, by 0.2, which is not a lot, to surpass our occupancy without an Epic Universe here.
All right, great. Santiago, as always,
thank you, sir.
Appreciate the update.
Thank you all for your support. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're doing a great job.
And we'll reach out to the city and get them queued up for the next meeting.
Sure. All right, next up is Lannis Robinson from the Sports Commission.
I have them on. Thank you. Good save, Jolene.
Well, no, this is an excellent example of the strong partnership and relationship between Visit Tampa Bay and the Sports Commission. Santiago said he was going to keep talking until you showed up. So, and he's more than equipped to do that. So,
great save for sure by Jolynn, Visit Tampa Bay, Santiago. I do apologize for the mix-up on my part. But I do have a presentation here for you. We're ready to go. So just kind of talking through quarter 3 and 4, the women's Final Four was a very much of a highlight for our organization. And we have some numbers here to kind of back it up. I don't want to read to you, but there are, if you just take a look at the number of media folks that came to town, as well as our viewership being the 3rd most watched on ESPN, just 100% supports the idea of how sports tourism is well received here in the Tampa area. Then we followed that up with the WWE Memorial Day weekend Tampa Bay Takeover with our partners at the WWE. We continue to talk about other opportunities, so more to come there. We've been meeting with them and discussing other opportunities, and hope to have some announcements here in the near future with WWE. And then in November, we had our U.S. men's national team play against Uruguay, which was a success. 26,000 tickets sold, I believe was the exact number, or a rough number. But the highlight of my presentation is going to be our NHL Stadium Series that we had on February 1st. What a highlight for not just the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, Visit Tampa Bay, Hillsborough County, the Tampa region, the Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Sports Foundation, all of our partners. It was just awesome. I don't know how to say it other than that. Just awesome. I would rate it as one of the top 3 sporting events in Tampa Bay history. And we're not the only ones thinking that and saying that. There have been NHL media members of the NHL that follow this sport and have called that event the #1 outdoor game of the 45 that they've put on. So really talking about a great event, not just from our perspective, but on the national and in the hockey world, that perspective. And then we have coming up here in just a few weeks, we have March Madness, 1st and 2nd round at Benchmark International. We have tickets on sale, right? I'm going to make sure to push that. This event is our, we're venturing back into the basketball. Basketball is an event in our partnership with the NCAA. It helps us lead to other opportunities for NCAA events, and we look forward to that event coming up. And then something that we haven't had ever, for the first time, we will have the SEC Media Days in July. And that is where every single coach of SEC football, they will have student athlete representatives from every school. So roughly about 1,000 media members come to town. So a good piece of business during that July time frame. So looking forward to that. We want to continue to grow and strengthen our partnership with the SEC as well, and look for other opportunities there. And then next March, in March of 27 and March of 28, we'll be hosting the men's and women's basketball tournaments in conjunction with USF over at the Yingling Center. So obviously Rob Higgins and his connections and our love for USF, we're looking forward to that opportunity. Here is, at the end of the day, the bottom line. 272,594 room nights in our previous fiscal year. That is up 13% from the previous year, and over a 2-year average, up 10%. So that is obviously the driving force of why we bring events here, and very important to us. And we make sure to keep this as a part of every discussion that we have on what event we bring, because obviously the return on investment is really significant and important to us. Then in the youth and amateur, we obviously use our youth and amateur as a backbone for what we do. We love our major events, but the backbone is truly the youth and amateur. And in these events, particularly this Tropical 7, it was the largest event, and their lead executive mentioned how this was the best event that they've had up to this point, and we've signed them on for multiple years moving forward. Varsity cheer, I think you all have probably all seen when the cheerleaders invade our town. They're everywhere, and if you look at the comparison between 2023 and 2025 at the number of teams and the total attendance, that speaks to the volume speaks volumes of the importance of these events, these cheer events specifically, and we have them signed for a multi-year contract looking to extend that even further. And then some other events, FIFA Club World Base Camp. We have an announcement coming about the World Cup base camp here in the near future. But all of these events really speak to the diversification of the events that we host, and we continue to grow that portfolio. I want to highlight the U.S. Youth Soccer National President's Cup. And here's a list of all the events that we've done with this organization over the years. And it concluded in this past July with our their National President's Cup being hosted at our Sportsplex. And it's really important to understand that their program manager has been in the business for 30 plus years, and here's a quote from him. Basically just talking about the relationship with Sports Commission, with our Tampa area, the complex. They look forward to continuing to host their events here in our area. And then I want to kind of close with the Sportsplex, some data. The projections were one thing, and the reality has been something completely different. We have essentially blown the projections out of the water and continue to do so. And then the important thing there is, as there's consideration for an indoor complex, all of our indications and interest that has been shown says that the Sportsplex, that type of success can be had if and when we have an indoor facility. And with that, I'll conclude and answer any questions.
Well, I just want to say, for starters, Lannis, keep up the great work. I know with your experience being on the Sports Commission's board and your relationships with staff, that's allowed you to really hit the ground running. And having talked to you many times over the last several weeks, you're doing an amazing job. So please keep up the great work. I do want to say a couple things. And Lannis did a great job, and I'm sure many of you were at the Stadium Series game, but I don't think you can underscore enough what a special event that was. I told my son when we were leaving that night, I took my son to the Super Bowl here, and I said, Jake, this is by far the best event that's ever happened at Raymond James Stadium, because there were 65,000 people there. If you think back to the Super Bowl, there was 25,000. I think 5 or 6 were healthcare workers that many probably weren't even from Tampa Bay area. The entire event, I mean, top to bottom, was just phenomenal. And you think like Miami, a week or two beforehand, had 37,000. We have 65. And the entire week, Eric Hart was telling me the NHL are just thrilled at everything. They couldn't believe just the level and the degree of things that we do that no other communities do. I mean, just little things. Like one day, Eric and his staff brought out an ice cream truck for all the NHL staff, and they went crazy. I mean, they're like, no one does this for us. And so it's the little things that the Tampa Bay does, the Sports Commission does, the hoteliers do. It's really, truly a team Tampa Bay group, if you will, a collective, collaborative approach. And I'm really so proud of that. And then 2 other things real quick. You mentioned WWE. I haven't been a wrestling fan in a number of years, but I can tell you, having worked on bringing WrestleMania here years ago, when we sat down with them and they showed us their social media presence is larger than all the NFL sports and golf combined. And so when you think about and consider the reach internationally that wrestling has to be able to have these events and to keep growing them, it's a really big deal, and most people probably don't even think twice about it. But their reach is just crazy. And then lastly, someone that worked hard on the sportsplex and championed the indoor facility. I'm glad you pointed that out, because all the indications are from the consultants are the indoor has the potential to be just as successful as the sportsplex. And as we know, the sportsplex shattered all of our assumptions and all of our expectations on the growth. So got a lot of great things going on. And appreciate everything you're doing. Any other comments? Ms. Collier?
I was just going to say, congratulations, Lannis, on the job. I'm so glad you stepped up and decided to do it. We had the Bruins for the outdoor series stay at the Epicurean. I had a dump truck back up with the beep beep sound all night long. Just it takes a village. They ran out of gas.
Lannis, could you just read your name into the record?
Oh, I'm sorry. Lannis Robinson, Executive Director of the Tampa Bay Sports Commission. If I can, I thought of something. We had an announcement over this past Saturday, and I heard Santiago talking about international expansion and involvement. We are going to have the English Premier League, their morning live show on April 18th and 19th. That's just another. That's a big deal. That's a pretty huge deal. And then hope to have more announcements coming related to that as well.
And I forwarded that announcement to my son, he studied at University of Manchester last year, and he's fell in love with Manchester United. And we went to a game last year. We're going back to a match against Liverpool May 2nd. And those tickets are not cheap, by the way. But no, they have a group of people. They go down to McDitton's down on Howard and watch the games at like 9 a.m. on a Saturday or Sunday. And so that's a big deal as well. So I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yes.
Ms. Morrison?
Lannis, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Secondly, the story of the Sportsplex and a really interesting perspective or sidelight is you referenced rugby, or your report referenced rugby. I think when all of the consultant reports talked about what sports could take place at that facility, no one ever mentioned rugby.
Correct.
I guess my question to you is, as you're getting your feet wet and getting a sense of all that is under your umbrella, will the team be looking for other sports, outdoor sports that would use a facility like the Sportsplex to expand the number of amateur athletic events that we might be able to host?
Well, to answer your question generally, absolutely. We want to take a look at every opportunity that is out there. We obviously take a look at the total picture. We want to know what that return on investment looks like and so the business model has to make sense. But we're definitely interested in everything that possibly we can bring just there and all the other facilities in our area. I
think the other sport was lacrosse as well, yes, which was not ever talked about when the consultant study came back to us. But now with your background with the school district and the clear growth of lacrosse in our local market, that might be another opportunity. It seems like there's another opportunity.
Absolutely.
Let's do cricket. Those games go on for days.
I lived the lacrosse inclusion into the school system, and absolutely that is an emerging sport, and that's ultimately what we want to do. We want to be aware of all emerging sports and see where it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions, comments? All right, Lannis, appreciate it.
All right, thank you all.
Yep, Mr. Martin.
Just wanted to note for the record, Bob Morrison showed up right after roll call. So he's personally in attendance.
All right, any other items for discussion? Yep, Mayor Kilton.
If I may just take a moment to brag on Plant City a little bit before we leave today. Just a reminder to everybody that the Florida Strawberry Festival is going to be February 26th to March the 8th. And it's not a little festival. This over 11 days, we average over 650,000 people. It's very impressive. And when our directors travel the country, going to different conventions and visiting other fairs and festivals around the country, and they tell people that we have 2,000 volunteers that come out. Some of these people are taking a week off from work to volunteer the entire time, and folks are blown away. It's not, that impact is enormous to our community for the event, but it's more than just a fair or a festival, because the impact and the money that's raised there and that nonprofit that goes back out into our community, that impacts folks, is enormous. And then it's also a breeding ground for leadership in our community. Our former mayor, Rick Lott, was a grand champion steer shower when he was in high school. Our U.S. Senator Ashley Moody was a former Strawberry Festival queen. These young men and women that are showing animals and livestock, our community donates more than $1.5 million to them a year. So we're very proud of the Florida Strawberry Festival for the impact that it has, being such a phenomenal event. The headliners are great this year, but I just want to remind everybody that that's coming up, and it's a great 11 days for that, but it's also way more than just that economic impact for 11 days and the impact that it has to our community. Thank you, Chair.
Well said, Mayor Kilton. Couldn't agree more, and I always look forward to the luncheon that kicks things off. Any other discussion items? If not, we're adjourned.